Along the path we parted ways. I walk the night, you tread the day, and we forgot we slept in knots all on the sunset coast. We shared our meals, we shared our songs, by candlelight or by the sun. I know you've sung 1,000 more since the time you've gone.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ruck Rabbit Outdoors. Today we are out here once again in Michoud State Forest to film the next part of our Gimme shelter series. Today we are going to a shelter that was formerly known as Tag Run Shelter. It's now known as James Fry Shelter, and it is north of the Tom's Run Shelter where we were at last time. As you can see, we're once again along the Appalachian Trail. We parked north of where we're at right now along Pine Grove Furnace Road or Pine Grove School Road. I think another road called Mountain Road comes in. It's a three-way there, but there's limited parking, but you can park there. So it's about a half mile to 0.6 mile walk in from the road to this shelter, and that's where we're headed today. So we're going to do a little bit of cooking there, and I'm going to show you guys the shelter, and pretty much that's it. So with that, let's go. Okay, we just crossed over Tag Run here. We're almost to where the access trail for James Fry Shelter is. And I'm going to show you guys something. As you can see, this bridge is pretty shot. It's worn out. And I had mentioned something about the Appalachian Trail on my last video about how the AT is actually a park, a national park, and it's taken care of by volunteers. And the Mountain Club of Maryland is actually doing something really cool here. You can see there's a sign, they're telling you what's going on. They're making a new bridge over the over Tag Run. So that's the new bridge. When they're done, they'll cut those planks to length. But they backpacked all this stuff in, they dragged all this stuff in. There's wood over there. So you can see, let's walk over there. So there's wood and planks, and they've cut these logs up, but they've backpacked it, carried this stuff in, probably backpacked a lot of it in, or had the Forest Service drag it in for them. Because this is a state forest here in PA, Michoud is. And they're building this bridge, and it's all done by volunteers, which is really cool. So just when you're out here, respect the superstructure for the AT. A lot of people put a lot of hard work and time in taking care of this trail, cleaning it up and keeping it for those of us who use it. And it's just really cool. It's a really cool thing. There's a set of rock stairs there that go up the hill. Off there to the left, actually I'll show you guys this too real quick. We're on the AT here, and then off here to the left, this is the access trail to James H. Fry, or James Fry Shelter. This used to be called Tag's Run Shelter. It's now James Fry. Well, you can see it's 0.2 miles to the shelter. Tom's Run is 11 miles. So from this point, we're 11 miles where we were in the last episode. And Alex Kennedy, which is another shelter, it's actually above Route 15, is about 8.3 miles. So roughly they're about 10 miles. That's my friend Tom and My son down there, just standing along. So, all right, we're gonna head in there so you guys can see what the shelter looks like. Okay. We're starting to come into James Fry's shelter. And this particular shelter has a pretty long approach trail. And as you can see, there's blue blazes. As I said in the first video, all the side trails off the Appalachian Trail have blue blazes. And this is kind of like mountains up there. So it's kind of on the side of the mountain, sort of in the creek valley. Down in the creek valley, a tagged run. And this is a little more of a smaller shelter area versus Tom's Run. And there's a shot of the back of the shelter. You can see that the shelter itself is actually shaped a little different than Tom's Run. This here is a bear box. So you would put your food inside there versus hanging on a tree. You can still hang on a tree, but that's what that's for. It's got a little lock and all that on, so you can lock that up. It's chained to the shelter. There's some guy hanging here. I don't know who that is.
Force Recon!
Yeah. So that's, for those of you who don't know, this is the other half of Ruck Rabbit Outdoors. Say hi, Tom.
Hi, I'm doing all the work. You can see Chad just sitting behind the camera looking pretty.
You're actually doing something. It's amazing. So this is Tom TD Cusack. He's the one that makes the knives for Ruck Rabbit Outdoors. Also, I guess you could say, what? Chief Executive Officer?
The Chief Lackey and Bushcrafter.
Yeah. And he's getting stuff ready because we're going to make a fire today. There is a spring here. Most of the shelters do have springs. I'm going to walk over here so you can get a good shot at the front of the shelter. And that's James Fry. And as you can see, there's like a skylight. This, the actual shelter itself here is significantly larger than Tom's Run shelter. Right, Tom?
Right.
There's little, these little...
Because I build them small so they stay warm.
Exactly. So this is a little bigger than Tom's Run. And then these little shelves here with the metal plates are actually for stoves. So that's where you would put a stove if you're using an isopropyl or some other kind of stove. And here you can see it says how the spring is not as reliable here. Tom's Run spring is very reliable, so you can see that this one has a tendency to dry up. And let's jump up inside here. Much bigger on the inside here. And there's actual bunks in this one. So you can actually sleep on a bunk if you want to be further up off the ground. Nice little skylight. I think this one has a bigger roof too, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's taller.
Yeah, this shelter's taller and actually has a bigger porch than Tom's Run. Another shot of the bunks. Tom's Run doesn't have these bunks. Actual little first aid kit. People will leave things behind in the shelters. They'll leave like extra boots, things like that for people to use. They call that trail magic. And you can see there's little shelves in the bunks for you to put stuff there. Glasses or whatever. Little pegboard. Hang coats and packs. This is actually a nice shelter. We've never stayed in this one though, have we?
No.
So it's a cool area. So we're going to go down here. And I'll show you guys.
Did you show them the stack firewood somebody left one?
Did they leave some?
Yeah.
What, that little bit there?
There's a bunch over
Yeah, there's actually some firewood. And when I said in my other video, the shelter keepers don't like when you do this because it does attract rodents. So if you're gonna, I know Tom's Run had that. That, like I said, that was very unique to that shelter. There's another camping area over here. With a picnic table. Does not have the platforms like Tom's Run does. This is much more primitive, I guess you could say, or lacking facilities, but still, compared to most places, this does have good facilities. Once again, the steel plates, and that's because those stoves they actually get cold on the bottom when they're running. And I do believe this might be the trail to the spring. We're going to drop down in here. Well, there's definitely water down here. This will probably be it. Usually there's a sign that will say spring. We're going to check another area. But, yep, this is the spring. So we're going to walk down this hill. Like I said in the other video, if you're out here and you're going to drink the water, I would definitely treat it in some way. Especially if it's more of a spring, like a stream like this. Whoa. Yeah, this is the spring right here. Pretty little area. Some people like to camp beside running water. I do not like to. I get what's called creek madness, where I think I hear voices, messes with my sleep. But some people enjoy the sound of running water. But this is the spring. But like I was saying, if you're going to drink the water, treat it in some way. Boil it. Especially if it's more of a creek, a little run like that, because you don't know what's in the water. You don't know if a deer pooped in it or something of that nature. And we're going to work our way back up here. Okay, we're gonna eat some lunch, and then I'll show you guys more of the shelter area. This is just the initial approach. We'll have to stay in this one this year. It's a nice little area. I'll have to find the Privy. I have not found the Privy in this one yet, so we'll show you that. But lots of down wood. Some of this is a little heavy for hikers, normal backpackers to process. But we're not your normal backpackers, so we could definitely process this stuff. So, all right, get back to you in a little bit. Okay, I showed you guys the shelter, one of the camping areas, and where the spring is here at James H. Fry Shelter. And the last thing I'm going to show you is, of course, the Privy. Now, as you can see, this is much bigger than the one at Tom's Run. Has a little bit of a skylight. We're actually on the hill up above the shelter. We're actually quite a ways up. And those pipes, for those who are wondering, are actually to exhaust the waste gases as the waste decomposes. And that's important. It does two things. Gets rid of the smell, and it also keeps it from having a chance of exploding. That is something that actually happened in the old days. If you didn't get rid of those waste gases, they would explode. But this is quite a large privy. We're going to go down the hill here. And it's quite a ways up on the hill, up from the shelter, which is fantastic because of the smell. And there you can see there's some stone steps in the hillside there, and if you could just make it out, right down there is the shelter. It's hard to see through the trees, but it's there. And we're gonna open this one up. So, welcome to the compost outhouse. This outhouse decomposes solid waste using the flow of air. If you only need to pee, please pee in the woods. Excess liquid delays composting and causes odors. Please do not put stuff that basically doesn't decompose. Close lid and door after use. This helps composting and sends odors up the chimney, which is the two pipes at the top. And we're just going to open this up. And the door is weighted by a system of rocks. There's some of the compost helper. And you don't want to put wet ones or hand wipes in this, just toilet paper. And this is a double seater. And these are basically just wood chips. And that's what's in here too. So what you basically do is you do your business, you open that up, do your business. Now see, this side's not in service, this side isn't. And what that does is it gives this side a chance to decompose it down. So what you basically do is you do your business and you throw the wood shavings on top. And that's how these work. Pretty helpful. It's actually a luxury here in the backwoods. Beats having to do your business in the woods. But here's just kind of a view of the hillside. Crow out there hollering. But yep, this is James H. Fry's shelter. So as you can see, this is a lot less here than at Tom's Run. And it's a little more Spartan, but it's still a nice place. Nice place. We're definitely going to be coming back here and camping. You can see the steps. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this second installment in the Gimme Shelter series. I don't know where we'll be next time. Probably still here in Michelle. I'm going to try and knock out all of these because they're closer. And there's a lot of really cool shelters here in Michelle. So until next time, make sure you guys subscribe and like this video. It helps get us out there. Also look up Ruck Rabbit Outdoors on Instagram and Facebook. And also check out Strange Familiars, the podcast I'm involved with Timothy Renner for paranormal stuff. We actually do a lot of stuff here in Michelle. So until next time, fair weather and safe journeys.
So it is, you've flown away, my friend, I think on you today. I hope sometimes you sing my songs all on the sunset coast.